Guys, my name is Anu and I'm a third year medical student at St. George's University. Welcome to my channel. So I just wanted to take the time to thank and appreciate every single one of you that watches my videos, that likes it or leaves me comments. It really means a lot to me. Thank you so much. Speaking of which, if you have not subscribed, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's red, you can't miss it. And hit the notification bells as well so you get notified every time I put a video up. Okay, so for today's video, I will be tackling the question of should I go to medical school or is medical school right for me? If you're at the point in time where you're asking this question, trust me, you're not alone. There's a lot of people who also are where you are and who have been where you are and have made decisions either way and honestly are doing well in whatever they've chosen. So I've put together 5 questions that would help you make this decision. And now, just because you don't answer these questions the right way doesn't mean that medicine is not for you. I just put it together to help you understand a bit more about what you're getting into. So you just have all the information necessary to make the right decision for yourself, basically. So let's get into the questions. The first question to ask yourself is, do I love to learn? Okay? So medicine is all about learning. So many new discoveries, guidelines, research, clinical trials come out on a regular basis. So you find that a lot of times you're learning, unlearning, relearning, unlearning, and just updating yourself. So that's definitely something to consider if you're thinking of a career in medicine. Is that something that interests you? Do you just want to know something and every once in a while update yourself, or are you okay with learning and unlearning and having to read papers, articles, staying up to date with everything? That's something to ask yourself before you commit to medicine, because you're basically signing up for a lifetime of learning. The second question to ask yourself is, do I enjoy studying? And I know this question might seem similar to the first one, but it's actually different in the sense that there are people who do love to learn but don't enjoy the process of studying or having to sit down and take in all that information. Fortunately or unfortunately, guys, a lot of medicine is self-directed learning. So a lot of the learning process happens while you're sitting in front of a laptop or your textbooks or your books and you are studying it for yourself. So you spend a lot of time studying by yourself. Well, depends on who you are, but you spend a lot of time studying. So you have to take into consideration if studying is something that you can do for a very long time. One thing you find that is actually common in a lot of US medical schools is a lot of their students don't even go for classes because they prefer to just sit down and study the material themselves, and they learn better that way. And a lot of medical students tend to be that way. So that's just something to put in mind. The third question to ask yourself is, do I mind starting my career a little later in life? And this is such an important question because medicine takes a long time. To become a fully board certified physician takes a lot of years. So you have to do your undergraduate degree, your medical degree, so that's medical school, then you do a residency, and you could even specialize more in a fellowship. So that's 4 years of undergrad, 4 years of medical school, 3 to 5 years of residency, and then if you want to specialize more, that's more years. So that's about, my math serves me right, that's about 8 to 11 or even more years that you're looking at. So even if you go to medical school right after your undergraduate degree, you would still, by the time you're a fully fledged physician, you will be well into your 30s or in your early 30s. So that's just something to keep in mind again. With that in mind, you have to ask yourself, do you have the patience and the stamina to go through the process and get to that result that you want? I'm not saying this to discourage anyone. I just want you guys to be as informed as possible before you make such a huge decision for your life. The fourth question to ask yourself is, am I doing it for the right reasons? And I think this is such an important question and probably the most important question on my list, because at the end of the day, you're the one who gets to live with your decision, not your parents or whoever it was that pushed you into medicine. So you have to make sure this is something you want to do for yourself for the right reasons. And I am an African child, Nigerian to be specific, so I do understand that sometimes parents can put pressure on their children to be in certain careers. But trust me, guys, medicine is not something you want to go into just because your parents told you to, because at the end of the day, you'll regret it. And unfortunately, there's a lot of years that you have lost. Medicine is tough enough that you don't want to be in a position where you are, you absolutely hate your job and you hate waking up at 5 a.m. to go take care of some patient or whatever it is. So you have to make sure that your motivation comes from you and from within. And if your motivation is financial, then refer back to point 2, where I just told you guys how many years and how long it takes to become a fully fledged board licensed physician. It takes way too long, almost 11 years. And by that time, your mates who did their undergraduate degree and started working are probably earning about the same amounts that you would be at the end of those 11 years. So it's not worth it for the money, guys. The money isn't worth the stress. So if that is your motivation, just, yeah, don't do it. Plus, a lot of medical students graduate with a lot of debt. And during your residency, you're working 80 hours a week and not earning very much money. So the financial reward is not worth the stress. The fifth question to ask yourself is, do I like working with people? This is also an important question because medicine is honestly about working with people, working in teams, working with your patients to discover what's happening to them or to even treat them. And fortunately, the healthcare system as a whole is heading more towards an interdisciplinary approach to healthcare. So that means that a lot of different healthcare workers, doctors, nurses, nutritionists, social workers are forming a team in order to take care of patients and give them a very integrated treatment plan. And so if you're not a person that enjoys working with people, medicine might not be for you. I know there are specialties in medicine that don't have as much patient interaction, but at the end of the day, you still have to work with your colleagues, the nurses, social workers, nutritionists, and all of those people. So you have to make sure that this is something you're okay with. So I have one more question, which is the sixth one, but I said 5, so. But finally, I want you to ask yourself, do I understand what being a doctor entails? And obviously, you cannot know everything. I don't know everything. I'm still a medical student, so there's a lot more to learn. But at least to an extent, don't find out what it means to be a doctor. Unfortunately, Grey's Anatomy, Scrubs, and all of those things are not reality a lot of the time. So make sure you shadow a physician, ask questions, volunteer at a hospital, talk to people, ask them what they love, what they hate. Just be as informed as possible before you make this decision because, again, this is your life and you're basically investing your time, your energy, your resources into this profession. So you want to make sure you're as informed as possible before going into it. And yeah, that's my bonus point. Bonus question to ask yourself. So guys, if you can answer all these questions well, then yay you, maybe medicine is for you. But if you can't, that doesn't mean that medicine is not for you. Especially if it's something that you're passionate about, then please, by all means, go ahead and pursue your dreams. At the end of the day, if you have the willpower and the passion, then yes, you will make it. That's it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please go ahead and like this video and share it. It might help someone else. Also, leave a comment down below if there's anything you would like for me to talk about. And subscribe if you have not. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Bye. See you next week.